Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mass Effect Season 2 Revolution vlog number 14 for the day. The
Yay!
session was very spicy.
Yeah.
Put it in a term.
I don't
Much
think
more relaxed session compared to session 13. But still full of really insightful situations. So,
It's a good way to put it.
yeah.
I don't think Hark will need to beep a lot of things because there was some spiciness, but it was
I mean,
not
if I had a
tasteful.
nude picture of you, then I'd be like, here, put a sensor nug on this just because it'd be funny.
Yeah.
I don't have one, though, so.
Does that mean I have to draw Nathan's
Sensor nug?
butt cheek tattoo?
Yeah,
You
probably.
can draw the Nathan and Vito in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's PG-13, I
Yeah.
can show it. And that sounds PG-13, so
I want to see Nathan tattoo. Wait, it was a tattoo or was like actually
butt
burned?
tattoo, yeah.
No,
To his
it was a
skin.
tattoo. It just looks like a one of those burn hide things you get for
Yes.
cattle.
it's a butt too.
Yes. A friend of mine actually has two of them. He has a pair of lips on one cheek
Okay.
and Poke Mahone on the other. And for those of you who don't know what that means, you don't need to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's insane though. So
Yeah, we got a lot of insight into Dia's character too, which
yeah,
is really nice.
I'm glad. Go ahead.
Yeah, and to Dia and / Logan, and their views on their persona or their gender identity, which is really, really interesting.
I enjoyed the Dia Stan moment at the beginning.
yeah, that was kind of cute.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I thought that it was fitting for Stan to deal with the death of a hero. That was very purposeful. If it wasn't obvious how purposeful that was.
Yes.
And also, I think it fits like the way Dia explained the way, the death of a hero works, and for her to actually go, hey, I'm gonna volunteer for that thing instead of waiting for it to happen. I'm gonna, go through it head first, which really fits with what she told Stan earlier.
I'm glad that Dia brought up, as silly as that may sound, I don't know if anyone who's watching thought that it was silly or not, but I'm glad that Dia brought up the whole who do you like, the whole middle school, so who do you like conversation, because I know that you guys like shipping characters, and I know that romances in BioWare games are appealing. And so when I designed the NPCs, I was trying to make most of them fairly flexible in their availability romantically. And this goes for everyone who's currently single. So when I was talking to Mikey, I said that, everybody keeps joking around about how flirtatious Nathan is and are wondering like who Nathan is actually interested in, and Mikey's saying that Nathan is trying to be nice and he doesn't want to meddle with anything and all that good stuff. And but to be fair, a lot of the reason why characters are being paired with each other is just kind of because Dia's been pushing them to get together. It's not because, which is fine, but I didn't make these characters to romance each other. I made these characters so they could be romanceable by the PCs if you wanted to. So I don't want to, just because Dia is playing matchmaker doesn't mean that I want that to stop PCs from trying to advance to someone if the player wants to, which is why I was trying to play Zadriri in a way to imply if Nathan wants to pursue something with Otto, she's fine with that. She's not going to make it easy on him, but she's fine with that and will respect him for trying. But she's just not going to hand Otto over. But if Nathan tries and he wins at the end, Zadriri is going to be like, all right, that's fine. So at the end of the day, the whole point is for you guys to have fun. And if by pursuing someone that you really are interested in your character to be with at the end of the day, if there's ways that I can let that happen, I'm going to let that happen. Because I don't care if my NPCs end up dating each other. More so, like, I care more if there's a character you want to romance, then you should be able to romance that character. Because I'm not playing. So I care more if you guys get the romances than you want versus these two imaginary characters that I'm role playing back and forth get together. That doesn't really give me as much satisfaction. So that's all I'm going to say. It is your choice if you don't pursue any character. But you have to be happy with, with that at the end. I don't want it to seem like I'm gating anyone. I mean, the only exception that I made, like I said, was Augie, and that's just because Augie's subjectively the most attractive NPC that you've come up upon, and I wasn't just going to give Nathan yet another person that he could take from the other PCs, because that's just unfair when he has so many other characters he could choose from that are very cool as well.
I was just joking a lot with Mikey afterwards, like in good faith. Just look at all these romanceable NPCs, and Mikey just going, "I want that one," pointing at Augie, and just no, not that one. I was just joking with that. But
so Otto is fair game, Zadriri is fair game, and Pip is fair game. They are all fair game. But you have to do the work. I'm not just gonna give them to you on a silver platter. The only person that was remotely kind of given to you on a silver platter is David, who ironically Nathan's not really interested in. And the only reason why I gave David on a silver platter is because when I was role-playing David, it felt in character for him to pursue that. But if Nathan doesn't reciprocate that, it doesn't bother me, because like, I'm not playing. I'm just trying to help tell whatever story you guys are hoping to tell with these characters. So it's I like that Nathan and Vito are starting to talk to each other, because if something if something develops between you two, that's less work for me. I don't have to role play a budding romance. I can just sit back and watch you guys do it instead of me having to reciprocate.
Well, there's Solaric too.
Yeah,
well, there's Solaric too, yes.
Yeah, there's one thing that hasn't come up yet, and I don't know if it will ever come up, but there was one thing about, Vito as a Solarian didn't really have a huge concept of, romantic love and crushes and stuff like that. So one thing I had was, Vito having a very strong, like hero worship kind of crush on Koalan ever since he saved his life on the lightning rail, which hasn't really shown so far, but like, had Vito been the one to talk to Koalan, like out of his room or something, it makes sense that it is Gimmick and Nathan to talk to him, but had Vito been there, he probably would have let it slip out. And also the fact that maybe by accident, he's just, he's not entirely sure if it's a crush or not, but, that's the thing. But, yeah. The one thing is, the reason he read is his journal. It's not entirely just curiosity, it's just a feeling that, man, I don't know a lot about that guy. I want to know more about him. Maybe it's not the best way to do so, but I know more about Koalin now. So
Koalin is, I think if I was playing, I would definitely be interested in romancing Koalin, if it were me. When I created him, I wasn't sure if anyone would be interested, but I was definitely open to somebody trying to romance Koalin and then deal with the whole, Justicar and, Justicar thing. But I don't know if anyone's bitten that yet. So
yeah, I mean, if Vito hadn't been married, because I say that as Vito's going for Nathan, but I'm getting the feeling Koalin is not really probably not into like poly relationships. So I don't know about that, but yeah, had he not been married, Vito would definitely have gone for Koalin. Or
think the bromance,
as a person who just is me, I would go for Koalin myself. So.
I did enjoy the Nathan Koalin moment today.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bromance
That
there
was
is
very
very
cool.
strong. I like that.
There's definitely a big bromance between the two of them.
A good buddy cop movie would be Koalin and Nathan, I think. That would be a very funny, very good buddy cop movie, I think.
Would that mean Noalin? Would be
Yeah,
a
or Nito,
Coathan?
I
No,
think was-
Coathan. The Coathan. I like Coathan.
Yeah. And then there was Nato, Nathan and Otto.
Yes, Nathan
There's
and
so
Otto.
many ship names. My god.
And again,
And-
go ahead.
Yeah, Calipix made a resurgence.
And speaking of Koalin even further, I really loved the scene between him and Gimmick. And the realization of him and Gimmick are actually really similar in many ways. Their situations were very spot on, almost exactly the same. And he
Yeah.
didn't realize it until that moment.
I
was
started to cry because I also relate with that. You want to do something and want to try to be something, but everyone doesn't expect that from you. So yeah,
because of what you are.
yeah.
Did you see that similarity ahead of time?
No, I was like,
Not at
oh
all?
yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, that one. I think that's also the shock of, oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting him to be like that. I was expecting him to be angry at me.
Well, I when I was listening to you, so here's the beauty of that whole scene. I didn't see that similarity at all either, not at all. But while I was listening to Gimmick talking to him, and when you were giving the points that you were making, I was thinking about it and like, you know what? This sounds exactly like, because I hadn't I had thought about how Koalin became a Justicar as a Volus, but I didn't give full like nitty-gritty detail about what it took for him to get to that point, besides working extra hard to become accepted. But then when you were talking about how you lied and you respected him, the big part was when the big light bulb was you said, I respect you, and I'm just trying to, be a team player in the cause. And I'm like, this sounds very familiar. I think I'll use that. So thank you for putting that idea in my head.
Well, you were fast in your feet and were able to adapt to the situation and get, it was really interesting.
It's a very good example, clear example of why this is a team effort. It's not just me telling the story, because we play off of each other. So I get ideas from you just as much as you get ideas from me, and some of the ideas surprise both of us when they're like right there. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Okay, cool. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
So
I'm also happy with because the way I made Gimmick was like, oh, so Gimmick only gets interested in things that other talks about, and because Dia talked about like, oh, who are you in love with, or who do you are interested in. Gimmick was like, for first time thinking, oh well, I didn't think of that till now. Also, like I enjoyed that moment that Gimmick had with Vito. I was thinking of having something like that with the other players too, like because Gimmick had a father and a mother, and now they are like gone. But at this point, Gimmick considers like everyone that is close to it like their family right now. I think Gimmick said that before, like, oh, I think of you like my family. That's why you had the chance of and helping me build body like the laboratory. But yeah, there were a lot of things that were interesting to RP in this session. Like, it was more relaxed, but there was a lot of opportunities to RP.
Yeah. Great
It
opportunities.
was much more late. No, you go ahead.
Great opportunities to develop our characters some more and show more the other sides of our characters under not so much pressure.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Mikey?
Yeah, like I felt it was interestingly laid back, but there was also some very revealing / intimate moments between everybody. Like, there was the stuff with Nathan and Pip and Gimmick and Quallen, and there was all the stuff in the hot tubs, and there was the stuff with the bar,
The bar.
the
Yes.
bar.
My
There was
favorite
also-
word
I
for
know.
Mikey to say.
I'm going to have to teach you how to say it properly, just so you can
Yeah.
say it whenever you feel like it. But so there's a reason why Nathan hasn't committed to Vito and Solaric yet. Why he hasn't just said yes. I'm entirely cool with the idea of us being in this, 3-way relationship. And there's a few of them. One of them is that his most recent relationship history isn't exactly the nicest, as he mentioned. 2, he's not entirely over the death of his mother yet. That's also something that's there. And 3, he doesn't know if he can commit to the idea of being in a relationship with 2 people. Never mind the fact of being with a relationship with 1 person. But he does like Solaric and Vito, so maybe it'll work out. So, might as well try it and see what happens. But there is going to be a little bit of sprinkling of other stuff in there. Nathan might try other things in the meantime too. So not next section, because next session we're apparently stuck in a PC somewhere.
Yeah, how about that? How about that?
Yeah. Hark seen his picture of I got done for Kiwi for
yeah.
Christmas. It's the Vito and the Greninja, the frog Pokemon. They're just looking at each other.
So good.
I'll post it in the chat. I was like, oh look, it's a preview to the Pokemon crossover.
Yeah, honestly, Vec has been drawing so much art for this
Poor
campaign.
Vec is just so busy all the time. It's so good for him though.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask 2 things. The first one is, there is like any expectation for next session, like anything that you're looking forward to, or that you think that it would be nice to explore, like.
So, Gimmick is going to have an interesting interaction with Chase and with interesting things with both Chase and Cassie. Do you know why?
Well, I'm no.
So-
I mean, one is a scientist.
So Cassie is a big techie,
Yeah.
computer nerdy scientist, so that's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
The other one is a ghost.
Oh.
The other one is a
Yeah.
ghost.
I think they.
And you said, I have this fascination with ghosts. I've always wanted to meet a ghost. Well,
Yeah.
so when you said that, I was like, mm-hmm.
Gimmick's going to meet a ghost.
You might, so be prepared to meet a ghost.
Yeah. I always think that these cross sessions are cool because the old characters that are more experienced and such get to teach what they learn during their adventure to the new heroes. So yeah, it was going to be cool.
Yeah, I was looking back at my guest session campaign, guest session episodes from the Pokemon campaign, and oh my god, it was so awkward. I wasn't as I don't know what's the word for it? At ease, or
I understand that.
yeah, I wasn't like
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
this was your
very
first
awkward.
time, right?
Yeah.
You hadn't played before. Yeah, so that makes perfect sense. And not only have you not played before, but most people who play a tabletop campaign for the very first time aren't recording themselves for hundreds of viewers to watch you. So that
Yeah.
adds more to
Yeah.
that. So it's a
Yeah.
big ask for you guys to join into my campaigns when you've never done this before.
I mean, like most campaigns don't even have voice. Like most people don't even talk to each other when they're playing online. Like they'll do text and that'll be it. So, like most of the games that I played when I was first starting were voice, but then, a lot of people play text games as well. They're like, "Oh, I don't like playing voice because I don't like the way my voice sounds," or I don't think it would be, very comfortable to play with voice because I can't, role play the character or whatever. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that makes some amount of sense too because, not everyone can like I can't really play a female because my voice is way too low. It's very difficult for me to, put my voice to a pitch that's that high and be comfortable at a high pitch for
Yeah.
any amount of time.
I think
So
I think in my case Vito's like the best character to play for me because he's got like the Solarian high pitched voice. But yeah, when it comes to other characters, it's kind of an issue. Um, I joke a lot, like around the house because I was pitching character ideas with my mother before the Mass Effect campaign, and she kind of saw like the whole my Vorcha doctor character. She kind of saw him grow a little, and she still laughs every time I do the Vorcha voice, or
Oh.
at least his Vorcha voice.
Could you
But-
like make a bit of that?
Hold on. You stupid! Stop dying! Hold on, I can't do it anymore.
Like
hold
American
on.
accent or something like that?
Me kill you if you die. He was a very stereotypical Vorcha character, but he was a doctor, which was an interesting character to play. But I went with Vito in the end because it was easier on my voice.
Yeah. Well, you can save it and use it in another campaign or something like that, like the concept.
Yeah,
But
I still like that Vorcha character.
I like
Still
it too.
love
He had an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Well, even for me, like I can't do the Drell. I can't do Drell very well, and I've got Jules, so I just don't even try. With Jules, I just talk more normally, and I just tell you. But he does this in a Drell voice, so
Yeah. Sometimes it's more of you have to let your imagination take you.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe at the start you are not used to hearing someone that is like playing a female character sound with a deep voice, but with the session you get used to it. I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
and
thing.
that's the thing with the intonation, with the accents, with the way you speak. Hark, we can actually recognize whatever character you're
yeah.
playing. Like you don't have to mention who's talking. We know who it is at this point.
thank
Like
you.
Zachary and Pip and Koalan, they all have very different voices.
Yeah.
So
Stan, I catch myself.
Stan
Stan's
was-
voice changes. His voice
Yeah.
changes all the time. I haven't really figured out Stan's voice because for the longest time, I was never really planning on Stan to necessarily be a voiced character, and so on the spot, I had to come up with a voice for Stan. I don't think the needle keeps moving. I don't think I've ever settled on a voice for him, so that's the problem.
it's
I mean,
we had heard him like once, like speak like once at the end of session 11, I think,
Yeah.
or session 12. Yeah,
Mhm.
session 12, and then in session 13 you speak again with like
A different voice.
with,
Yeah.
and at first, like I remember all of us going, "Wait, who's that?"
Yeah.
It just didn't.
I think Maybe I'll explain it that the translator device is like
Yeah.
bugging a little bit.
It's
Oh, it
fluctuating.
sounds a little bit different. It keeps
Yeah, like
adjusting.
I always imagined it was either the fact the translator finds it difficult, even though it works. It's like fumbling or like making,
Yeah.
or it's because he's a young adult and his voice is changing.
There we go. His voice is
The fact that he's-
changing.
it's just
His
the fact
voice
that
is
he's a
voice
young
is
man,
cracking.
you know, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been realizing like slowly that my voice is getting lower and lower, and I'm really happy about it.
Yeah.
I haven't even started testosterone yet, but what's nice with that thing is that you can actually start to see. It's HD enough that you can see my facial hair. I don't have a lot, but I'm proud of it.
High definition facial hair.
High definition neck beard.
I guess you're not going to shave when you have like the.
Oh yeah,
really
I'm gonna have the if I can. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have the lumberjack beard. I'm
Marcus is
Canadian.
staring at me like, get rid of that beard. You look all scraggly.
Ah. Oh, I remember that I thought when that moment between Dia and Stan happened that it felt like when in those BioWare sort of games when you take some time that you do other things and such and then come back and interact with the characters, that they have like a special interaction they have, and it was like, oh yeah, it's been a while since we talked with him, and he had this thing about the heroes dying, and I thought, oh, that was cool.
Yep, talk to every character after every mission.
Yeah.
Also, that was another one of the questions, but because I realized while I was thinking about it that I interacted with most of the NPCs and characters, but I didn't interact that much with Cedriani. So, if there is any character or like NPC and such that you would like to interact more with and such, or you wish that you interacted more with?
Yeah. In my case, it would be Koalan, because I had like this idea with how Vito feels towards Koalan, but he hasn't. I don't think he even has had the chance to actually like chat with him for real. Instead of the on the heat of the moment, just going, oh yeah, maybe we kind of aligned it to you a bit, you know. So yeah, I would like Vito to have the chance to chat with Koalan a lot. Maybe, yeah.
So, Koalan, I was reading something in your room the other day.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that?
Read.
Oh, no.
So,
Yeah, I mean, right now, especially after his reaction, like, oh no, you shouldn't like impede on someone's privacy, and then Vito just internally goes, oh shit, now I'm never telling him.
Oh no. Just red flags everywhere.
What have I done?
It was good. It was a good session. I think it was one of the better sessions we've had in the entire game, honestly. I had great fun.
Oh, anything you are looking forward to, or anything you wanted to happen? Like,
you mean for next session?
yeah, or for the rest of the campaign. Like, I know that you kind of make have an idea of what you want to happen, but
I am waiting for you guys to get to 2 reveals, because those are the only reveals really left that I have before we get to the finale. So that's what I'm waiting for.
okay.
There's one that's... I don't want to give anything away. But yeah, I'm looking forward to those.
Okay.